just because we get around. Talking about my generation. Things they do look awful. Talking about my generation.
The first thing that comes to mind for me at Bristol is just the difference in my own head about the experience of watching a race there and how much I've loved it, versus the experience in driving a car there and how much I've struggled with it. And back when I first started racing on the track, it was with the old configuration. I was terrible. I did so bad. I was always in the way, always tearing up cars, could never figure it out. We literally would go testing back then, and Gordon would show up with his team in his car. He'd get in my car and drive it and say, yep, that's what you need. This is how you do it. And I'd look at the data. I'd go out there and I just couldn't get it done. It's a weird track where the corners have so much banking, so much grip that you're on the gas harder in the turn than you are on the straightaway. Because the corners have the 36 degrees of banking, the straights are 0. So the transitions in and off are just massive. And you can't be on the gas really through that transition area. So I struggled, got better, but then when they repaved it, or resurfaced it, I should say, it changed it for me big time. And I was able to win there twice and really finally get going when they resurfaced the track. But up until then, I was good for a couple cautions every time. It is just a cool track. I mean, when you look at the stands and the size of the venue, kind of blows your mind, and then you look down there and there's just this tiny little soup bowl looking track. You make a lap in 15 seconds, you know, it's just a gnarly track. Everything's in the infield, all the transporters and pit lane, everything's congested, everything's loud and obnoxious and busy, and you know, just all the stuff, but that's Bristol. I think that's the beauty of Bristol and why people love to go. The spring race is great, but for some reason when the sun sets in the fall, you know, it just turns into a nutty place. In my rookie year, I was leading the points at Bristol, the fall race, and Robby Gordon crashed me coming to get the green flag on a restart. He took off before the flag came out and spun me out, and I got crashed. And I was pretty upset and gave him the one-finger salute when I climbed out of the car and went by. And
so there's Jimmy, and he's not waiting to get in the ambulance, I don't think.
I think he's waiting to wave to his favorite driver right now.
Let's see.
Safety worker's trying to wave him on.
You know what, safety worker? I wouldn't do that.
Listen to the crowd.
I thought I was all by myself, and when I flipped him off, I could hear the roar of the crowd and realize that 160,000 of my closest friends were right there. That was cool. My first win, I remember having a really strong car, and a late race caution came out, and I think we were leading before the caution came out, and we put 4 tires on. And I remember we started in the second row, maybe in third or fourth, and I wasn't sure if I had enough time to get back to the lead where I was running. I was questioning Chad's call just a little bit.
Well, they said when the race started, get the champagne out. Here it comes off of turn 4.
Checker flag. Jimmy Johnson scores his 50th career Sprint Cup win.
And within a couple corners, those 4 fresh tires were rolling, and I passed Tony and drove on and got the win. So I remember questioning Knaus, and then after a few short laps, was like, nope, he had it right.
Took Jimmy Johnson 17 tries to conquer the half mile at Bristol. And look at this burnout. Up the ramp, all the way into victory lane. He is smoking the hides.
He's got 4 tires on it, you know, might as well use them up.
Just because we get around.